In this video, I'll show you how to scan recipes with your iPhone or iPad, print a website recipe to a PDF, or simply type it in. Organize them into searchable folders and share them with your friends and relatives. All this using an app that comes free with your Mac, iPad, and iPhone. We'll use iCloud to create and view our recipes on any of our devices and transfer ingredients to reminders for our grocery lists. Let's do this. First, let's fire up the Notes app. It looks like a small pad of white paper with a couple of lines on it and a yellow top border. Create a new folder called Recipes so your other notes don't get mixed in. Within your recipe folder, you might want to create subfolders for different categories like desserts, appetizers, sandwiches, etc. Don't worry if you choose not to do this right away. It's easy to move recipes to different folders later on. Let's create our first recipe by clicking on the Create Note icon and typing it in. The first line will become the title. And for today, we'll do something simple like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. If you want the word ingredients to stand out a bit more, then click on the AA icon, which is the text format button. I think the heading format would be good. Let's type in our ingredients first. Click on the checklist icon up at the top. We'll see why that's so important a little later. Then type in your ingredients, hitting return after each one. When you're all done with ingredients, hit return twice in a row to get out of checklists. We're ready to type in our instructions. Change the format to heading, type instructions, then select numbered list from the text format button and type in our steps with a return between each step. Hey, how about a picture up top so we know what the finished masterpiece looks like? Click on the photo icon. We can bring in a photo from our library, but Notes also gives us the option of taking a picture directly from our iPad or phone. We'll just grab a photo from my library for now, but later on I'll show you the secret to scanning. Let's see what this looks like on my Mac, iPad, and iPhone. All three look pretty similar, but you'll notice that some of the icons are arranged along the bottom on the iPhone. iCloud just takes a few moments to synchronize. Let's check to make sure we have the settings right for iCloud Notes. Yep, note synchronization is turned on. If it's not, click on it and turn it on. This has to be enabled for all devices you want your recipes to be on. We found our second recipe on the web, so we're going to use a screen capture, which we can do on an iPad by swiping up from the lower left corner. We'll crop the bottom and right sides a bit. Then we'll tap Done and copy and delete, so now our recipe is on the clipboard. Let's fire up the Notes app and start a new note. Then type in the title. Then tap and hold and select Paste. Voila! If we click on the recipe, we can use the markup tools to highlight an ingredient or sketch an arrow to point out a key ingredient. Then tap Done. You can also add notes to the recipe before or after. I like to make a note after I've made a recipe saying how it turned out and maybe some suggestions for next time. For our third recipe, we'll use one of the most powerful tools Apple added to Notes in iPadOS 17, and that is PDFs. This works very well for grabbing a recipe from a website that provides a print function for the recipes. If we click on Print and look down at the bottom, it'll give you an option to save as a PDF. Go ahead and do that. And if you look in your Downloads folder, you'll see a PDF file with the recipe that you can drag onto a new note. On an iPad, select the Share icon, which is a box with an up arrow, touch Copy, Then go to Notes and paste it in. What's great about PDFs is you can highlight text in the recipe directly, or you can bring the markup menu up where you can add notes or even draw on the recipe. We've got our recipe and notes. Now, how do we find them when we're looking for one? The easiest way is to use a Spotlight search and just look for notes results. You can do this on Mac or iPad. On a Mac, use Command Space or click on the magnifier in the toolbar. If you have too many results, use the search function in Notes itself. On an iPad or iPhone, I think it's easiest to use the search icon in Notes, but if you're on the lock screen, you can swipe down from the middle of the screen and type in your search keywords, or touch the microphone and just speak them. We have our recipe. It's time to go grocery shopping. In our recipe, select the ingredients and copy. On a Mac, click and drag with a mouse, then Command-C. On an iPad, touch and hold on the left side of the first ingredient, then drag the selection tool to the right side of the last item, then select Copy from the menu. Now fire up the Reminders app, and if you don't have one already, create a list for your grocery store. Then start a new item and paste the clipboard into the list. This is why it's so important to use a checklist for the ingredients in Notes. If you just use bullets or a numbered list, all the ingredients will be crammed into one item. Thanks to iCloud, in a few seconds that list will be synchronized on your iPhone, so it's off to the grocery store to do our shopping. As we put items into our basket, just touch the item in your reminder list and it will disappear. That way you know exactly which ingredients you still have to shop for. If you let it, Reminders will organize your grocery list into categories for you, so when you are in a section of the store, you know all the things you need to buy there. We have our ingredients, so it's time to cook. Take your iPad or iPhone into the kitchen and bring up the recipe. I find it useful to increase the size of the text. As you add ingredients to your cooking pot or bowl, just touch the circle on the screen to indicate it's been used. If you want, Notes will move the checked off items to the end of the list. When you're all done with the recipe, select the ingredients and tell Notes to uncheck them all so you're ready for next time. If you love this recipe and you want to share it with a friend or relative, click or touch the share icon. Select Send Copy, then select who you want to text or email it to. That's it. If you select Collaborate instead of Send Copy, the person who you send it to can change your recipe, which you may or may not want to do. Before I go, I want to leave you with a powerful tip. Apple Notes has a scanning tool that instead of just taking a picture of a recipe, it will allow you to get a nice flat image and it'll automatically crop it for you. First, bring up the note on your iPhone or iPad that you're going to use to scan the recipe. Go ahead and select the photo icon, then select Scan Documents. Hold your scanning device over the recipe. When you've got the whole document in the frame, it will automatically take the photo. Then select Save when it has scanned it. That's it. Note that it will automatically crop the photo and minimize distortion from not being directly over the center of the document. I hope you found this little guide to using Apple Notes for your recipes useful. I know we went through this very quickly. If there's something you'd like me to cover in more detail, please leave me a detailed comment below. Thanks for watching.